Thank you, sir, for this opportunity. I think we've spoken a lot about investments with equipment. My topic is just about investing in teleconsult or on a larger level, investing in an EMR. And that investment is that of mindset and not that of a monetary investment. And just taking you over our experience with teleconsult. First, do understand that numbers tell a story. India today has the maximum number of internet subscriptions after China. 40% of our population has access to an internet. So even those who say that we work in a charitable institute, to those who work in a premium institute, we all have patients who have access to the internet. So they can reach us through WhatsApp, through apps, and multiple other ways. A study has shown that the geo effect really is translating into 70% of the Indians making purchase decision through the mobile phone by next year. So what has brought about this change? Largely, this change has been in the making, and through companies like Amazon, etc., this consumer behavior has been really hammered in. But COVID-19 has brought this change to healthcare. According to the Harvard Business Review, healthcare is only the third of the least digitized service sectors. The only two sectors behind us are construction and agriculture. So COVID-19 has now hit healthcare, and this is what is making us go into the digital shift. 84% of the patients surveyed in the United States in the first wave said that they would want to have access to their doctor through teleconsults, because we are going to face frequent lockdowns. This is going to be on-off kind of a regime of lockdown across the country and across the world. So this is what healthcare is now. From healthcare 1.0, where you could build big institutions and people would travel across the country to reach their institution, we moved to healthcare 2.0, where there were readily accessible doctor-driven practices, to healthcare 3.0, where the patient or the customer is now in charge and he will decide the time in which he or she wants to visit the doctor. And of course, healthcare 4.0, which will be the future, which will involve a lot of AI. So we have changes which are subtle, but which are real. For example, if you see the Center for Sight website, when we request a callback, the option is now no longer book an appointment. It also says book a teleconsult. I would recommend that for those of you who don't have access to a teleconsult through an EMR, to log in to any of the teleconsult modules which have been provided here. You don't need to provide all your data to these people. Only the patients who wish to access you through teleconsult can be visiting you through this portal, and you can parallelly open your EMR. So Dr. Parul is right by saying don't integrate, don't pass on your data. But what this does is, when you're using a separate platform, all of us have actually been teleconsulting all our life. Numerous WhatsApp, phone calls, everything has happened, but we don't realize now that it is regulated and it is chargeable. So using a proper platform actually allows you to formalize the process, makes you legally safer, and allows you to bill the patient as well. The process basically should have an appointment so as to not disrupt your routine life in the clinic. The payment process can then be done. A history taking and problem sharing can be done before the doctor steps in, because it has been shown that teleconsult can take up to 20 minutes and a normal clinical examination sometimes takes us 5. So you can spend less time by having an optometrist do the history taking, problem sharing, and teaching the patient how to take photographs of the eye if required. Then, of course, a doctor comes in and has a video consult. You have to store the records of a teleconsult up to 3 years, much like an OPD. And that is why having an electronic platform is useful. The electronic platform also takes into account the regulatory requirement of digital signature, payment gateway, having the patient recognition ID in place, generating an e-prescription and a billing. So like we all know that as a practice, ophthalmology requires a lot of examination. So teleconsult has actually not been anything more than telecounseling. We've not been able to treat a patient through teleconsult. So we've all moved on now to what is called teleconsult phase 2, wherein we try to do more and get more information through the electronic media. So we have this modality wherein you can project a vision chart and ask a patient to place it at a particular distance. And you can get things like the visual acuity, you can get color vision, you can get red desaturation, you can even look at the patient's gaze and project light and then look at a rough Hirschberg kind of a thing for alignment. So all these things add to certain detailing and allow you to make a diagnosis. Remember, you cannot prescribe medicines without making a diagnosis. But still, we are far from perfect. And now this is the model that is of the present. You see here, we launched home care services. These are services which allow a vision technician to go to the patient's home and take from a fundus photograph to eye pressure to vision and refraction. This will give you enough data to treat a patient. Do note that glaucoma is a chronic care practice. You not only have to acquire new patients, but you have to make sure that the patients keep funneling back. And an important way to make sure patients funnel back is to give them access in the way that they need. So we have this home care service where the optometrist or ophthalmic technician goes home. He can, this has been launched in Delhi. So he can give you a good refraction. He even carries a phoropter and a vision chart like this. These are small investment. The vision chart will cost barely 3,000 rupees. And you can do a good refraction. He even carries the spectacles with him. So if a patient wants to buy spectacles, that can also be done. A fundus camera. And for known glaucoma case patients who are unable to step out, even a portable perimetry, though may not be as reliable as the real perimetry that you are using in the office, but this is still better than nothing. So, and we also do the IOP. So this is really the assisted teleconsult model. This has been tried by Shankar Nethralaya, LVP, and us at Center for Sight. So this can work either through home care or through vision centers or through mobile vans or through a very simple tie-up with optometrists. There are numerous optometrists who check pressure and refraction routinely. And this is what Shankar Nethralaya did. They tied up with Titan Eye Plus across the country. So their patients had a neighborhood access to getting vision and refraction and pressure checked. Also, there are a lot of hospitals which want to refer to a glaucoma surgeon, an advanced case of glaucoma, but the patient is not willing to travel. Let us not discount the fact that our colleagues are the easiest way for us to teleconsult. They can give us the basic information. And then the glaucoma doctor can ask questions which can be fed by a non-glaucoma expert in terms of the answers, so that the glaucoma expert can process and come up with a plan. These cross referrals from eye hospitals and optometrists are really a great way to leverage expertise for very advanced cases who can't travel. Moving on to the fact that, yes, we have teleconsult, but we are not quite there. But my only request is that the patient's mindset has changed. He is willing to hop onto the platform. As a provider, we cannot delay our mindset change after that of the consumer. So even today, we are doing a dozen teleconsults in Delhi itself every single day, despite the lockdown being over. And if data is a problem, yes, that may be a problem right now. It's definitely not going to be a problem in the future. You already have contact lenses that can monitor your eye pressure and send it to you longitudinally 80 times a day. We have devices being made in Arvind, which when you have an IOL being implanted, it will have a small sensor which will check your IOP automatically and send it to the doctor without a visit. And that will allow you longitudinal data. It will allow you to see what the pressure is when the patient wakes up, what the pressure is when the patient eats breakfast, etc., etc. The electronic IOL is also coming of age, which will have IOP monitoring in it, and it will actually allow you to take photographs. If you blink, it's supposed to have a photograph captured. So it has multiple embedded devices. It can have lithium batteries. You have the Google glasses which are there. These are all things which are actually being manufactured. And if you speak to AI manufacturers, they say in 5 years, your normal smartphone will have a fundus photography, will have a vision, and possibly a refraction check. So the availability of data is going to come in really thick. I think it's time that we start unwrapping the future by stepping onto the teleconsult module. Thank you.